Let's give you now the markets update. Local trade still fickle in early trade after a muted performance in the last session. The JSE counting the losses on Wednesday, while global markets were mixed after softer than expected US jobs data, which helped ease those US bond yields. Chief Investment Officer and founder at Makwe Fund Managers is Makwe Masilela, joining us now for a quick analysis of the market moves in early trade. Mr. Masilela, good morning to you. Let's begin with the fact that October has had a tough start, at least for many of us. Petrol price hikes, you name it. Your quick sense of how the local index is faring, and including that the Rand, particularly on the back of what the governor says, the disease here is inflation.
Yeah, just like the markets had a very difficult start, and all because of the kinds of comments that we are getting from our Reserve Bank, other central bankers, confirming that interest rates will stay high for longer, and that we've seen the bond yields going up, and then as a result, the bond yields will become, the bonds started to compete with stocks, and that rattled the equities market. Hence, we've seen that October started in a negative way, and it continues in that fashion, just like as we've seen the way September has performed. But the issue here, we've been worried about interest rates staying high for longer, and for the very same reasons that I'm mentioning, that they are not yet done with fighting inflation. And unfortunately, when that happens, we see the likes of the dollar continue to strengthen. And unfortunately, with the dollar being firm, it tells you that it becomes more expensive for holders of other currencies to be able to buy commodities, because they're mainly priced in dollars, and the rand itself, remember, is also a commodity currency, so that continues to be negative for the likes of the rand. Hence, we've been seeing the rand struggling the way it has been struggling, and the dollar continuing to dominate so far.
All right, so let's immediately launch into company news. Data Tech publishing a trading statement for the 6 months, which ended on the 31st of August 2023. How's their performance?
A good number. They expect their profits to go up by 38%. Remember, this is an international ICT company, and they offer the likes of collaboration and networking, clouding, information security, data center technologies, and those services and solutions continue to be in demand globally, and the guys are still well positioned to offer their clients what they require, and they have managed to find a way also to manage the current supply chain challenges. So the guys have just been doing great, because all divisions of their business have managed to benefit.
Let's talk Anglo-American. The rough diamond sales value for De Beers' 8th sales cycle of 2023, that is out. What do those numbers look like?
If you look into the numbers, they continue to go down for cycle 8, which you also call it a side. They are just looking at a value of almost $200 million US, and you compare that with cycle 7, it was just around $370 million US. But you compare cycle 8 of 2023 and that of 2022, you can see that 2022 was much higher. We are talking almost $580 million. And the reason here has been the guys managed to not make things being available. They reduced availability because they're trying to rebalance some of the areas when it comes to stock accumulation, but they confirmed that going forward they will continue to be more flexible so that they can achieve the equilibrium between the wholesale supply and demand, and they'll be doing that in their cycle 9 and 10. Remember, these sites, they only hold 10 during the year, and the reason they're called sites is because the buyers are given an opportunity to inspect the rough diamond before they can buy them.
So let's conclude the conversation with something of a good news, Bob Masilela. Incoming FirstRand CEO is Mary Vilakazi. The understanding is that she is the first female to lead that particular bank. Definitely a milestone for this institution, but there are those who are saying that this also is a major shake-up, because she's not the only executive that is going to be coming into the bank, but there are those who've been shifted aside. Who is Mary Vilakazi, and tell us what structure will she be leading?
You know, a very experienced lady. She's been around for quite some time. I mean, before joining the bank, she used to have senior positions in the likes of Metropolitan Momentum as CFO, as a joint CEO, and with them as well as FirstRand. I mean, she joined them in 2018, you know, as Chief Operations Officer. My point here is a Chief Operations Officer supposed to be knowing every little operations about the company, and they're getting their hands more dirtier than the CEO. So there's a nice succession planning for her to assume the role of a CEO should be a much easier thing to do, because already she I understand the strategy, the vision, even the weaknesses of a company. Yes, FirstRand has been doing okay. These are the guys who own your West Bank, your RMB of this world. But she's coming in a time, as we said, or we heard from the Reserve Bank governor, that interest rates will probably be going up, given that inflation is not coming down. And in instances like that, it tells you that they will have more bad debts, because unemployment will go up, people will struggle to repay, you know, some of their debts, and that will be a big challenge for her going forward. But is she the right person to do the job? Definitely experienced. Most certainly she is experienced to be able to lead that particular company.
Yeah, I listened very carefully to that interview by the Reserve Bank governor, also mentioning that the banks, yes, they may be turning a profit, but it's not as big as it used to be because of the tough times. So thank you very much, Makwe Masilela, giving us a quick understanding of who Mary Vilakazi is. Congratulations to her, by the way.